Hi, I'm Martin Jarvis, and once again I want to welcome you to listen. Black Lives Matter, do they? It is a good philosophical argument that we have, and we do have a point. But my question is, outside of the philosophical argument, are your life choices reflecting that you truly believe Black Lives Matter? So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. Because black people in this nation, we have Barack Obama as a president. We have so many congressmen, congresswomen, and all that. We have Kamala Harris, who just might be, the next black president, first female president. But don't get it twisted, okay? None of this means that we as black people in this nation are there yet. Well, what I believe it's giving us is a glimpse of what could be. Because this is like, we never had a black president. Then there's Barack Obama, and then, from 2008, then how many years later? Not too many years later. We have another one, potentially. So what they're giving us is not the truth that everything has changed and now it's all good. Because it's not. It's not good at all for black people in this nation. But it's giving us a glimpse of what can be, okay? and so what I'm suggesting is, as many of you know, when Barack became president back in 2008, I'm not political. I judge candidates by good versus evil, okay? And that's that. Simply, good versus evil. Red or blue, good versus evil. And see, I think the problem that we have in politics sometimes is that we look for a politician to satisfy our own personal needs, okay? And forget everybody else. And that's what we judge an individual by. What can you do for me, okay? And so it's not even American, I believe, to just disregard the needs of everyone else simply because my personal needs are being met, okay? But that's what we do. And so I'm just suggesting that we simply begin to look at the situation of our lives. Now this is a program, this is an urban program to black people primarily, but anybody can grasp hold of this message. That we are not well in this nation as black people, but if I had to put a percentage on it, I would say that 95% of the negativity that we have to deal with in life is of our own doing, of our own hand. And so, I came up in the 70s. I was a young man. I graduated high school in 1976, and I joined the military in 1976 at age 17. So I was a young man, a military man, high school graduate, in the 70s. And I saw a lot of stuff, a lot of overt racism, a lot of issues. Now, I was living in a place where black people, we were the minority, we were military kids, but we didn't have to take any mess because everything was pretty much honest and on the floor, right before everyone, what's going on here. So you can call me the N-word, but you might not be able to see out of your swollen eyes for the next 2 weeks. Okay, so that was the relationship we had. I never had to suffer through any racism, but throughout the nation, in other pockets all across this nation, there were black people that were suffering tremendously, even at the hands of the police. That's why the Black Panther Party was formed, to protect the residents of Oakland, California from heavy-handed brutal police tactics, okay? And so what I'm suggesting is that today is a lot different than then. But the difference is that black people have opportunities to improve, okay? And you still have the racist institutions out there, but you can remove yourself from the hand of that racism. But it's not going to just happen, okay? And so I always use myself in this program as an example. I don't preach theory, okay? Even on my other program, the other Martin is Brother Martin. I've been a pastor for like over 20 years. I've been into the communities, into the justice system for like 17 years, speaking to the incarcerated. So there are two sides to me right now. I'm speaking to you from simply the urban secular side at the moment. But the reality is that we seem to be our own worst enemies at the moment. And so I offer myself as an example that whatever I speak to you can be done, okay? I used to get that buzz. If I was awake, I was buzzed. Whether it was alcohol or whatever, I was always buzzed. I was in clubs every single night of the week. My driving record was atrocious. I was always like 1 or 2 points from losing my license. That's where I lived. There were times I'd have warrants out for my arrest. Now, they were always traffic-related warrants, you know. That's the person that I was. I wasn't in the best shape. I mean, I was never like overweight because I was a martial artist for many years, but health-wise, I wasn't eating the right McDonald's. I was loving that fast food, you know. And I was just living a destructive lifestyle. I had a high school diploma. I graduated in '76, went right into the military, and so, you know, that's what I had, a high school diploma. Again, when Obama became president, now that's 2008, I see this young brother, younger than me, Harvard educated, Harvard law professor, Harvard attorney, senator from Chicago, now president of the United States, and I had a high school diploma. So I went back to school. And within like 10 years, I had earned my associate degree, my bachelor's degree in business, and an MBA when I was 60. The education is out there. You can better your life. Now, that was from age 50 to 60. You know, I'm limited in what I could do with that. But I didn't need a job. I didn't need the money. I had a job. I was going to night school. Well, my children saw that as an example. Okay, that was my benefit from it. I was able to do that from age 50 to 60. You're 25, 35, 45. There's no reason why you can't. I used to stay buzzed all the time. I don't. You know, I might have a glass of wine or champagne on New Year's Eve, but that's it. I don't smoke weed. I don't do any of that stuff. Don't take any kind of stuff, okay? And what I'm suggesting is we need to clean up our act. Those things are not healthy. So why are we doing them? As far as exercise, I try to exercise every day, every work day. I try to eat right, eat healthy, all the time. I've just totally changed my lifestyle, and I've benefited from it. I'll be 66. This is October 2024. I'll be 66 in a couple of weeks. That's not that bad when you think of it that way. When I think that'll be 4 years from 70, then I'm like, geez, I'm old, but I'm in pretty good health. Why? Because you reap what you sow. What goes around comes around, you know, good and bad. So take care of yourself and you'll be well. But as a people, we're not. We're not taking care of our business. So again, do Black lives really matter? It's a good philosophical argument, but does your life reflect that the only Black life you have complete control over? Does it matter? Come on now. So we have to begin to consider these things. We have to recognize that we are not well simply because we've had a Black president 2 terms, and that was, you know, that was very good. For me, it was very encouraging. It was very motivating. It was very inspiring to the point where I became educated. And I'm healthy. I have a good job. Why? I just reached the 30-year mark a couple of weeks ago on my job. 30 years, I'm 65 years old, and I'm in good health, okay? So I'm just suggesting that the issues that we have in this nation today as Black people are primarily by our own doing, okay? Because yeah, the institutions do exist, but you can take yourself out of the institutions. You can make yourself better than most of the people who think they're better than you. Come on now. Sometimes I have the fun. I got my scuba certification as well when I was 63. There's a point to this. Sometimes what you could do is, and you could go into like Google or AI or something and say, you know, what's the percentage of people that have an MBA? What's the percentage of people that have scuba certifications? What's the percentage of people that, you know, whatever it is, throw that in and you'll recognize, if you can move yourself to be in a small minority of successful people on this planet. You can even move yourself to the point of being like in the top 5 or 10% of income earners. It's not that much. Now the top like 1 or 2%, I mean, that's about almost impossible. But you can get up there in the top 5%, 10% easy. Just by making the right choices, by going to school, getting an education in the right field, and working a job and going to work on time, and not getting fired and not quitting. Quit smoking that weed, quit drinking that alcohol. Quit eating the wrong foods. Quit allowing yourself not to be healthy. Coming up in the 70s and seeing a lot of racism and watching people. See, people that are racist don't bother me in the least. Because, truth be told, I probably don't like them more than they don't like me. That's the big secret that black people have. I think a lot of white people aren't aware of, that black people don't like you more than you don't like them. See, white people find black people as being somewhat insignificant, okay? And after all these years, black people really resent white people, even though we've learned to function because survival dictated that we learn to function in this environment. That's how clever we are. That's what we do. We still survive in this environment, but folks get it twisted. They see Martin Luther King Jr. and the black folks wanting to eat at the same lunch places, wanting to use the same bathrooms, drink out of the same fountains, and all this stuff. They think, guys, you just want to eat with us. No, they didn't. They recognized that was the only way into total equality. That was the doorway in. Get through those restrictions. Okay, it wasn't because they liked you, because they loved you. It was because they needed to use you to get to the next level, okay? And that's what all that eating with the white people was about. It wasn't because they just wanted to eat with them. They just knew that was the easiest way to get in the door for civil rights. If we can get through this barrier, then the next one will not be as difficult, okay? And so that's what I'm just suggesting, recognize it. So what I do, and if you have this issue, now don't get me wrong. So I did come up with this issue of even the negativity and the hate, and even now, like I was hating the white man. I don't hate anymore like I used to, like back in the 70s and the 80s, man. But see, a lot of times our hate and our negativity is due to our inferiority complexes, okay? Because I was a high school graduate, okay? And I was a high school graduate for many years. But what I learned in my later years was to sort of, as a balm, as a soothing, for the issues that I had, about white people, because a lot of it was really inferiority based, because I really didn't have it going on in any measurable metric. But now what I could do is, I could compare myself to the people who don't like me, to the people who have issues with black people, to the people who seem to be prejudiced or racist people. I could superior, okay, that's a good word, who believe that they're superior. I could say, well, I make more money than you. Well, I'm way more educated than you. Well, my kids were in private schools, and one graduated college, no college debt. The other one will have no college debt when she graduates. I'm healthier than you. So in every, you don't scuba dive, So the point is, in every measurable metric, I'm better than these people who consider themselves superior. So once you realize that, it relieves the pressure, okay? I mean, it's like if a blind man accidentally steps on your foot, are you going to get mad at him? No. I mean, these folks, this is where they're at. And so I think I look at like white people in this nation and black people, okay? Remember the old story, the fable of the tortoise and the hare? Where there was a race between the tortoise and the hare, and the hare was so confident in his own ability, he just goofed around, slept, took naps, and goofed around, and that turtle just kept on walking. Slow as he was, ended up walking past, the rabbit, and just kept on going. And then finally the rabbit woke up and panicked and started running after the tortoise, but by the time the rabbit got to the tortoise had already crossed the finish line. He won. And so people that have had privilege in this nation, they've grown comfortable in that privilege. That's why you can find all these people out there walking around looking all crazy, little get-ups, whether red, white, and blue get-ups or white get-ups or little camouflage, playing soldier get-ups, is because they sort of rested in their privilege and not really improved themselves, okay? And like that tortoise and the hare, the tortoise, you just keep on walking. You can improve yourself right past them. I did that with school. Come on now. I went to school 10 years straight from age 50 to age 60. I missed 1/2 of a quarter in 10 years. I went to school constantly every day except 1/2 of a quarter. And I was struggling with the class. I had to drop it and take the class the next quarter, okay? And the point is, I was just walking. I started off, I was just taking a couple courses a quarter. Sometimes in my graduate studies, I might have been taking one course a quarter. But because I had no time frame, all I knew was step by step. I'm just keep on going like that tortoise. While these other folks walking around, worrying about what kind of statues were being taken down in the South and all, complaining about this, complaining about that. They're the sleeping the hare, the sleeping rabbit that was confident in their privilege, but I just walked right past them, bettered myself, raised myself above them till they're beneath me now in every measurable metric. They can't harm me. See, again, it doesn't matter to me if somebody doesn't like me because I'm black. As long as you can't harm me, as long as you can't touch me. Now, there are racist institutions out there, like the prison system is racist. A lot of times the healthcare system is racist. Housing is racist, and all these things are racist. But guess what? You can improve yourself right out of the reach of racism. If you're not committing any crimes, the police are going to pull up on your tail, run your license plate, and then just go on by. It's going to be an echo on there. There's no kind of record. If you're not out there breaking the law, you're not going to get arrested. And then you're not going to be victim to the unfair justice system toward black people because you have not put your hand in the reach of that justice system. You continue going to work and don't call in. Maintain a job. Man, you're better than most people because you have a good name and a good job and good opportunities. Whatever it is you're doing, you get your education. Get your education, man, whatever kind of job you're doing. They know you're going to school. They're going to favor you. Get your associate degree and update your resume. Update your profile with your business. And now you're working on your bachelor's degree. Keep improving. Do that. You put yourself right out of the reach of racist systems. See, a racist system is different than a racist person. A racist person might just think they're better, but when you really compare them to you, they're kind of deluded. Look, to be honest, if the situation had been reversed, and what black people have gone through in this nation for these 400 years, white people were going through, and we were the ones, on top, white people would probably be exterminated. They probably wouldn't even be here by now. Because there was a resilience, there was a strength in black people that didn't allow us, that allowed us to adapt, that allowed us to survive, and we're still here today. I'm looking at every measurable metric. Look at black people. Even during the times of slavery, music, we handled that. Labor, we handled that. Up to business, we handled that. The military, we know about the Red Tails. There were many other organizations within the military than the Red Tails. The Red Tails were just the ones they couldn't keep secret anymore because they were saving those bombers. And when that one plane was shot down in Italy, the bomber crew was rescued by these black folks that were assigned in Italy to the base where the Red Tails were out of. And that's when the bombers found out the Red Tails were black. All those, when you see those shows where they were, the white bombers were demanding that they'd only fly those missions if the Red Tails were escorting them, right? They didn't know the Red Tails were black. Don't get that twisted. All they knew was that those planes with those red tails were expert and excellent at protecting their bombers. They never lost a bomber under the Red Tails. They found out they were the Red Tails when that crew got shot down, picked up by black folks, and saw this whole base of black people. That's when they found out that the Red Tails were black. Don't get it twisted. But there were many other organizations within the military that were as efficient and as effective as the Red Tails. We just didn't know about them. I've spoken to many old people that were part of those groups. They got no recognition in the military, and as well in politics. Adam Clayton Powell. We've had politicians as well, black people, perfecting the art. And then we had even to Barack Obama, that last vestige of white supremacy, that last vestige of an untouched, even only 40-some have ever done it anyway, so most people couldn't be president, but who had never been held by a black man. He did that. So there was no other place on this planet at that moment. That's why there were so many tears when Obama became president. Because white folks were crying because they recognized they were no longer better than anybody. Black folks were crying because we recognized that we were as good. Which has been the fuel, even if you recall, why they had the Tea Party. The Tea Party popped up as a result of Obama. MAGA came out of that as well. All this came out of the realization of white folks that they were better than no one. The problem is that we, as black people, don't recognize that. Because we could be running this thing. Come on, we are powerful, whatever we do, whether it's sports, whether it's music, whether it's business, whether it's military, whether it's politics. The thing is that we have to make decisions for our own lives. We have to stop getting that buzz. We have to stop being unhealthy. We have to stop breaking laws. We have to begin to do everything the way, everything. I mean, when you look at the Red Tails, because they're a perfect example, they were excellent at what they did. How do you think they got excellent? They got excellent because they were excellent. We have to become excellent. We have to come to the point where we can't blame anybody for our lot in life. I don't care who becomes president, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat. It should not have any bearing on your success in life. Your success in life is directly related to your decisions. If you are not where you need to be, where you should be in life, you have no business getting any kind of buzz. You have no business going to clubs. You have no business being overweight. You have no business having diabetes based on your lifestyle. You have no business not exercising. It's all on you. We have this opportunity to fix it for what it is we're about. Man, when Obama became president, I decided to go back to school. I was on this program, and I was telling everybody that this is the time. Don't simply celebrate there's a black man as president. This is the time when something's in the air, something happened that should have never happened, that could have never happened, something magical like pixie dust. Walk through it, do something that you've never done before. I decided that I was going to get an associate degree. I just didn't stop until I had that MBA. I started going to speak another language. I started practicing the Egyptian Arabic language. And even then, for mind exercises, at this age, I'm not only doing physical exercises every day, I'm also studying languages. I studied Arabic for years. I've studied Spanish for about 1.5 years. Now I'm studying Dari, which is an Afghan language. Exercise, mental exercise, exercise. I'm just saying there's room to improve. You can improve yourself right out of the hand of racism. You can improve your life to when your children are looking at your life, they can really believe that Black Lives Matter isn't just a clever catchphrase, but it's actually a way of your life. How's that? Well, anyway, I know I've talked your ear off. I hope you got something out of this conversation. And I want to thank you for listening. And I want to invite you to listen again. You take care.